Hey everybody, it's Larissa. So this week we're talking about networks. The first diagram that I want to show you is my offline network, and this is my extended family. So looking at the big map here, obviously not the detailed map, but I've tried to organize it and color code it in the best way that I could. So really, Jima, or my grandmother, is central to my side of the family that we see here on the left in the gray box. Um, Information generally comes through her, to her, through her. She is the head networker in the family. She also is more likely to use the phone than a lot of, or I'd have to say everyone else in my family. So she does take a lot of phone calls, and that's how conversations are shared. So here we see my grandmother in the middle. Everyone in this light blue, which is here, so John, Michelle, Jane, Tommy, Greg, and my father are actually all of my grandmother's kids. So they have a direct connection with her, and they tend to talk often. The purple folks here are my aunts and uncles' spouses, and here my mom. Carlos, Katrin was married to Tommy, but no longer. And then Mary Ellen. So then from there in the pink are my cousins. So they're on the outskirts. They're the least connected of all of us because we are spread out through all over the country. They are connected to their parents and pretty much no one else, but connected to each other as brother and sister. So we see that. I'm over here. I'm connected to my mom and dad. That's where I get my information from within the family. And that generally takes a little bit of time. But again, starting from grandma, all the other aunts and uncles, and out from there. Then within my extended family, I'm connected to my husband and his family. So we see his brother and sister, his brother's wife. They're all connected to my in-laws, Bob and Marcia, and then Marcia is connected to Ray and Diane, my husband's aunt and uncle. So that kind of gives you an idea of how information is shared. On my side, I do have to say that there is a stronger communication between my grandmother and her children. On my husband's side, it's a little bit less so, just because the kids are spread throughout the country, but with me and my husband being the closest to his parents since we're still in the same state. So I have to say I'm not much of a gossip. I'm not too much of a main communicator in my family, but I do communicate obviously when there is a reason to do so. So I'm kind of on the side here, on the outskirts here, from my central family. So looking a little bit more at the details, this is really a crazy map, but gives you an idea of how my grandmother communicates with her kids. It's basically a two-way conversation between her daughters, her youngest son, and my dad. But it is a one-way conversation to my other uncles, Tommy and Greg, who are kind of inactive. Greg lives in Chicago, and Tommy just can't really be bothered, so he's on the outskirts. So I receive information, then once it's within this network, I receive it from my mom or dad. And that's generally a one-way conversation. They're sending information directly to me. So really we see my aunts, my dad, my uncle, and my grandmother, and my mom as really the main connectors in our family, and then I'm kind of on the outside again here. Within the family, I have to say that most of the information that's shared is gossip, family news, who's doing what, any milestones, any information that they share in casual conversation. So my next network is my online network. So I divided this into two groups, old friends and new friends. The old friends are all here in the teal. The new friends are in the green, and I'm in the center here with this kind of yellow donut. And this I wanted to use to designate the people that I am closest with. So as we look at the diagram, you'll see that everything kind of radiates out. So the people that are on the outskirts, I have to admit, are the people that I'm the least close with. So as we look here, old friends, there are some fairly few connections between old friends. My husband and I went to the same high school, and we kind of grew up with the same friends. So we've known a lot of these people for over 15 years, and there are connections between them. Within the group, I see, Matt and Bree as major connectors, Mike and Melissa as major connectors, but I really see me as kind of the central connection point, because that was the only way that I could look at this network and figure out where I stood within it, because these are people that I connect with on an individual basis. And with the donut space here, I'd have to say that the people that are within this yellow ring are the people that I'm going to network with first, and then the information disseminates out from there. On the other side, the new friends, there's groups. So this group is basically work friends. This group is kettlebell friends, people that I work out with. And then this group is are the Ladies Auxiliary. This is a group of female artists that I'm a part of. So what we see here is that between the two groups, Kate is the only person that makes a connection between the old friends and the new friends. Kate and Becky and I went to school together, so there is a connection between the two of us, though I was never very good friends with Becky back when I was in high school. So I wanted to take a look at a group that I'd have to say I'm most connected with, even though they're kind of out in the outskirts here. I'm very close with Jessica, so I think that's where a lot of my connection with this group comes from. So we'll look at that group. So basically how information is shared within this network, and the type of information that's shared is because it's an art collective, it's generally project ideas, progress for current projects that we're working on. That's the kind of information that we share. Erin is really central to everything. She really leads the group. So I put her centrally, and I tried to use arrows here to just show you where the conversation is. Erin is very close with Leela, and it's a two-way conversation between them, but with Becky can tend to be fairly inactive, so it's generally a one-way conversation. Erin tells Becky what to do. Becky and Leela grew up next door to each other, so they've always had a strong bond and are very connected. Sarah and Becky are sisters, but Sarah's the older sister, and she tends to lead the conversations and lead the sharing of information. Therefore, it's not a two-way. Sarah and Jess currently live very close to each other in the same town, so they generally work closely with each other. And me, I'm really not connected so much to Sarah, Leela, and Becky. I'm on the outskirts again. I do take information from Erin as it comes in, but it's generally me listening to what she has to say and not a discourse. But I do have a close bond with Jess, so we do spend time together and create work together. So those are my networks. Looking forward to seeing everyone else's work, and talk to you soon. Bye.